left some lingering.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we just got started.
Yeah, it's deja vu when I'm running up these rats. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every
We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's return of the Mac. They say I'm off the rails. I can't wait for you to get it for myself. So many places to be. I've got plenty. Act like you've been here.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't mistake me for a lame or goofy.
Welcome back.
Rockstar life is like a movie. Hollywood, where you be at? I remember when I used to drive a Fiat.
We're gonna get it going on the backup. They're angry this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the Thunderdome. We'll get this thing going again. So what I'll do is I'll redo it. Then obviously I triggered some people, but what I'm doing is pointing out that the Epstein files and everything behind it started with MAGA, and we'll get this on the record.
Yeah, I would. I'd be inclined to do.
To declassify the Epstein files.
Yeah, I would. I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Right.
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. It's a new day. It's a new administration. And everything's going to come out to the public.
So that's Donald Trump and his cabinet all saying that the files would then come out. All right, not Democrats. What did we hear the other day, ladies and gentlemen? What have we been hearing through the grapevines from other people tied to this matter? All right, ladies and gentlemen. And so listen to this. This is an Epstein. What is this? What do we have? Oh, yes. Let's hit play on this.
The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009. I can tell you that I talked to President Trump back in 2009, and several times after that, he didn't think that it was a hoax then. In fact, he helped me. He got on the phone. He told me things that were helping our investigation. Now, our investigation wasn't looking into him, but he was helping us then.
So in 2009, it seems like Donald Trump was cooperating with law enforcement to a certain degree when it came to Epstein. And so it begs us to ask this very important question, ladies and gentlemen. When all of a sudden did it become a hoax?
Any friends or donors, sir? So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more. And nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C., it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term. It's a term of art. It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now and nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by Democrats, or for the most part run by Democrats. So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars. nobody's going to talk about because they're going to talk about the Epstein, whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from two people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax. When are you going to make this?
Did you all just hear what Donald Trump just said? And this is why I continue to drill this point home. They say, Zeus, you have a script. No, I don't. I just have common sense. This is, from his own words, the most successful 8 months, which makes me go back to the questions that I always ask MAGA. Okay, what are you measuring success on, Donald Trump? And I'll get to the Epstein stuff. Are you measuring the success on the things you said you would do, like releasing the e-files, because you haven't done that? Are you measuring success based on the things you said you would do, such as ending the conflict in Ukraine, negotiating a ceasefire? Angus, what is he talking about when he says this is the most successful 8 months ever? When I talk to all of you, and you know who I was talking to earlier this week, I was in there with Dark Scott yesterday, dirty white guy, you know what his name is, Wild Man. Every time I ask you, did he negotiate the ceasefire? No, he hasn't done it yet. All right, what about the 90 days, 90 trade deals? No, he hasn't done that. They won't say it directly like that. Has he stopped the conflict in Israel and Gaza? No. Has he gotten our utility bills cut in half? Has he capped the credit card interest at 10%? Has he done anything? Liberation Day, grocery prices, have those came down? Did he really give you no tax on tips and no tax on overtime? Look at the jobs right now. There's more people available to work than there are jobs. Look at what's going on. What the heck is he saying when he says this is the most successful 8 months? Even the little boom booms that he said he did, when he dropped it in Iran, that didn't stop their program, their nuclear program. He's doing these strikes on Venezuelan boats. We have seen no evidence of it. What are you guys saying he's done, MAGA, that makes this the most successful 8 months? And the answer is very simple. It isn't. This is the worst 8 months of any president that we've ever seen. And MAGA knows this. MAGA knows this. This is why they get so upset with me. And they must not have heard me when I said it, but I'll say it again.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Yeah.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Brian, I have no clue where you got that from or what you're talking about. Please, just listen. All right, Brian? Because when you say, thank God Trump is returning America to sanity, well, explain to me how this is sanity. All right. And now we're going to go back to the Epstein stuff.
Question would be for the survivors.
Listen to this, Brian.
The president has said that this Epstein issue is a hoax, is the words that he used. Can we get your reactions to what you think when you hear him say that?
Here it goes. Brian.
I'll answer that.
Brian, listen to this.
Mr. President Donald J. Trump, I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political.
Oh, it is.
However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings. This is real trauma.
What does it feel like
Wait, did you hear that? Did she say she's a registered Democrat? Hold on, let me make sure I catch it. Or did she say she's a registered Republican?
However, I cordially Mr. President Donald J. Trump, I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings. This is real trauma.
What does it feel like emotionally to hear that?
It's being gutted from the inside out. Not that I would know what that feels like, but I imagine it's the anxiety buildup with the depression and the survival mode, and then your nervous system goes limp and ironically is shot. And it feels like you just want to explode inside because nobody, again, is understanding that this is a real situation These women are real. We're here in person. To say that it's a hoax is just not. Please humanize us. I would like Donald J. Trump and every person in America and around the world to humanize us, to see us for who we are and to hear us for what we have to say. There is no hoax. The abuse was real. Now, what goes on behind closed doors, I can't speak for that. What happens around the world politically, I cannot speak for that. But I am here with all of these women, including our attorneys.
Yeah.
And I would be more than happy to meet with him, and I will meet him halfway.
You hear that? You hear that, Brian? This is a Republican woman, registered Republican, showing up. Think about how hard it is to show up and say, I'm not a hoax. I'm a real person. This isn't a Democrat hoax. And MAGA, I know this bothers you, but I'm proving something, all right? So listen up. We got another victim, or another survivor, I'm so sorry, who says something similar. Listen up, MAGA.
Wildest dreams that we would have this much support this time.
I have to ask you about someone who wasn't supportive today, and that is Donald Trump in the Oval Office calling what was happening in your discussion the Epstein hoax. He repeatedly called it a Democratic hoax, even though you were accompanied by Republican members of the House as you were standing there. How did you feel about that when you heard that word applied to what was happening there?
So I'm going to go off of my survivor sister, Haley Robertson, and I voted for him. I voted for Trump. And for him to say what he is saying, it is beyond me, because I put my hope in him and he's supposed to protect us. And for him to say that this is a joke and that it's sides, this is not sides. We will say it time and time again. None of us are up there accusing him of anything. There is no one that is accusing him of any wrongdoing. So for the fact that he is saying those things and saying it's a hoax, who are you hiding for then? Because if it's not you, then who is it? And that scares me. Who is it?
Now, you all heard this woman said that she voted for Donald Trump because she actually believed him. And listen to my friends, listen up. I had difficulty processing this because you know how I feel, and I'm not going to make it about me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But you remember during the campaign, you know, this is what Donald Trump said.
I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
Remember that? Let me play that again.
I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
It just makes me go back to what I was saying yesterday to the conservative women out there. Please, knock it off. You got to knock this stuff off, because we're never going to get to true accountability unless you're able to see Donald Trump for who he really is. And I get it. The Democrats, we're sometimes it's right message, wrong person. I get it. And it makes it very hard for you to see the energy. But a lot of us, we're really not making up, you know, we're not creating all of this dust and this rust, this so-called chaos, so to speak. We're not doing this because we hate Donald Trump. All right. Because, you know, being a hater, you can do that any time of the day of the week, and it doesn't require the amount of work it genuinely takes to be able to get online and really engage MAGA, and not just one conspiracy or one thing. You got to keep up with all the lies that MAGA got going on. This is real work. All right. And you can look at, well, this person is a grifter, because that's what they like to call me. They want to, he doesn't know anything. Okay, great. But we know what? We love our country. And when you love your country, then you do what it takes to save it. And so this is not going to be an easy thing, but MAGA, especially you conservative ladies, y'all got to knock this stuff off. When the evidence is in your face, make the right choice, make the right decision. But I'm going to give them a little bit of a leeway because they're true victims, right? And I understand that the mindset of a person who's been a victim isn't quite the same as a person who hasn't been. So I'm going to try to leave that alone. But I'm just going to ask, when you see and hear information about danger, please don't do what they do in the scary movies, all right? And you've seen the scary movies. Freddy Krueger is out there. Jason is out there, slicing and dicing. Honey, did you hear that? Yes, I didn't. We should go and check on it. No, run. Danger's here. You don't have the tools to go and fight Freddy Krueger and Jason. These guys don't care about normal things. They are serious, and they're serious about trying to do harm to you, all right? And that's a W Zeus. And I'm just going to say this. Believe what you hear and see about Donald Trump, all right? Don't believe what Donald Trump is saying. Believe what other people like these survivors are saying, because if you really sit back and think about it, it would take a lot of coordination for all of us to be singing this same song. This would take a lot of coordination from Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Obama. Where are we all meeting to get the script and sing the same song? The probability of all of that happening is super unlikely. You have a better chance of winning the lottery back to back to back to back than for us all who don't know each other to get on the same page about one person. Just think, what does it mean when Donald Trump says Epstein is a terrific guy? That means Donald Trump has terrible judge of character at a bare minimum, or he really does believe Epstein is a good guy, just like he believed Putin was a good guy. And if he said that, that should have given you pause. You should have said, that guy, no, I can't go and vote for him. What does it mean when a father says this?
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
What does this mean?
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
What does that mean to the MAGA women out there when you hear a man say that about his daughter? That means he's sick. He's a disgusting human being, and you should get the heck away from him.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
What does it mean when a man says, if this wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her? That means this man is sick. That means this man is gross, and that you, whatever's been going on in your life, should not continue to stand behind that guy. You shouldn't go out there and go and this is where I get upset. You heard these, never mind, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to do what Joe Biden said. I'm going to just leave it alone. The outcome is the same. The outcome is the same. We all now have to deal with Donald Trump every single day, traumatizing us. This is where we're at right now. This is why I say there's a great curse upon this nation of ours. Instead of him being a president that's actually helping Americans, right? You saw what happened in Kerr County. You see what happens with these, and he should be doing things to make life easier for us. His whole administration is all about, and Takesha says it well, him getting revenge on us. He doesn't just want revenge on Democrats. He wants revenge on America. And America, believe it or not, MAGA, that includes you. Yes, there are still some J6ers sitting in a jail cell right now, crying and going, what the heck is going on? He put 1,600 criminals back out into the country, into these communities, but he left some of them in there, and they can't figure out why they're in there. It's because you're not done. Donald Trump hasn't got done using you. He's not done using you to get what he needs, all right? He doesn't care about you, MAGA. That's why every time you open up your inbox, he's grifting you and asking you to send him money. And so what I'm going to do is this. To the people out there that are still supporting Donald Trump, I'm going to send you to hell because you just don't get it. It's not about Democrat or Republican. It's really about Donald Trump exacting revenge on the very people that that elected him to get into office, and especially Blaga. And I could get on Blaga for as much time as I want. I could talk until I'm blue in the face about Blaga. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. And you know what we're going to do? Let's warm it up. And this is for all of the people who chose to ignore the warning signs that Donald Trump was an evil person, and then went out there and they still voted for him. And now look at that. We're having to unite in weird ways to just get him to do the right thing, which is to release the Epstein files. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send these folks straight to hell.
Silence!
Yeah.
You matter daily.
You can't be mad at Zeus. All right, W. Rick. You can't be mad at Joe Biden. You can't be mad at Barack Obama. You can't be mad. I will go as far as to say, really, you can't be mad at Donald Trump. MAGA, you should be mad at yourselves because you did this. You, with the hatred in your hearts, because I know what it is. You don't like seeing women in positions of power. You don't like seeing people of color in position of power. And you said to yourselves this past election, I will take my chances with this guy who I know is beyond a creep, who I know is a criminal, fraudster, snake oil salesman. And if you heard some of the things his former wife Ivana said he did to her in the deposition, right? You're going to have to say, I'm going to take my chances with that person than to simply do the right thing. And now you're suffering. Now MAGA is suffering. And this is part of the process. Honestly, as painful as it is, I'm not surprised that this is where we're at right now, where we're really trying to figure out who in Congress is pro P3DO and who isn't. I mean, this is what this is all about at the end of the day. And you know who they are. If they're signing on to the discharge petition, then you know what that means. They want to get to the bottom of it. And, it was surprising to hear. But, what does it mean, ladies and gentlemen, when Zeus wakes up? And I heard some of this. I'm not going to play the whole thing. But when I wake up and I hear stuff like this coming from Marjorie, and you know how many times we call her Marjorie Trader Green, because I'm still thinking, and I could be wrong, when they say, who was the pipe person on J6? You know who I'm talking about. And we've had our jokes, and we say, it's MGT, Marjorie Trader Green, right? And so never did I think my beliefs would align with Marjorie. But yesterday they did. And I'm going to be honest and admit it. They admitted, and this is what she said.
Imagine how terrifying it would be to name names like that. These are some of the richest, most powerful people in the world that could sue these women into poverty and homelessness. Yeah, it's a scary thing to name names, but I will tell you, I'm not afraid to name names.
Wow.
And so if they want to give me a list, I will walk in that Capitol on the House floor, and I'll say every damn name that abused these women. I can do that for them, and I'd be proud to do it.
Again, I agree with Marjorie on this. I really do. But I also understand she's part of the reason we're in this moment because she supports Donald Trump. This could have all been done and taken care of if MAGA would have simply acknowledged Donald Trump is who he says he is. And it's not just the Democrats going after him. All right? The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, what is it? Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring this story up because when I say MAGA is being harmed, I don't think Trump supporters get it. That Donald Trump doesn't care about them. And so what we're going to do, and some of you may have already heard this story, is we're going to share a story about a Trump supporter who found out Donald Trump doesn't give a darn about him or his wife. And, and this has to do with ICE. All right? This is Donna Hughes, ladies and gentlemen, Chicago. Listen to her story, and then we'll get to judgment. And this is why, MAGA, when you keep trying to lie and say y'all are winning, I'm going, and where? Where the heck are you winning? And let me say this to them. If you think Donald Trump sending the Texas National Guard to Chicago to fight crime, if you're one of those people out there, I'm just going to say this. That National Guard, if that does happen, they're going to go after MAGA. They're going to go after MAGA too, all right? It's not just going to be Democrats. They're going to go after MAGA, and you'll hear stories similar to this.
The true story of Donna Hughes Brown, a woman from Illinois who took a vacation to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Donna was coming home from a wonderful vacation. She stepped off the plane. She's imagining she's going to see her family, but nope, she's detained by immigration. Guess why
That's
she's
Donna
detained?
right there, her and her
Because
husband.
she wrote a bad check 10 years ago. Donna Hughes Brown moved here when she was 11 years old. That was back in 1977. She moved here with her family, her parents and her brother. And they did everything legally. and she has been a legal green card holder for over 30 years. Donna grew up and eventually married her husband, James Brown, who was once a Donald Trump supporter, who now says he regrets his vote because he cannot believe that he and his wife, coming back from vacation where she was detained, held by ICE and held in O'Hare Airport for 5 days. But the story doesn't end there. After she was held in O'Hare Airport for 5 days, Donna was transferred to a detention center in Kentucky. And this entire time, her family thought there was a bureaucratic paperwork mix-up. But the story gets worse. Donna had a bond hearing for August 13th, and she even had the paperwork to prove it. But guess what? ICE never put her on the docket. Thankfully, the courts rescheduled her bond hearing for 2 days later, August 15th. And the judge in her case was fully prepared to grant her bond and send her on her way back home to her family.
Right.
However, at the very last minute, a DHS attorney stepped in and told the judge that they were no longer able to grant bond to people with minor infractions. And Donna was denied release. Donna said tearfully, "I'm not disposable. I didn't realize something so small could erase the life that I've built here." You see, Donna is now a 60-year-old grandmother, and she has built a life here in the United States. Donna Hughes Brown has lived in the United States for over 3 decades. She built a life here, she had a family here, and she has never committed any violent crimes. But just like many other people in the United States, she is being detained like she is a hardened criminal. Donna is still being held in a detention center in Kentucky, and there is no scheduled court hearing that's been announced. And authorities have said that they are still moving forward with the process of trying to deport her. Donna's husband, James Brown, is a clear example of you need to understand who you are voting for, because this husband voted for his wife's immigration rights to be taken away. He voted for Donald Trump.
So let's go back to what I was talking about. How many of y'all feel sorry? How many of y'all feel sorry for Donna? How many feel sorry? How many feel sorry? Because I'll go ahead and say it. Donna, there's consequences. And this isn't just for you. Yeah, I know. Food is terrible in there. Yeah. You thought it couldn't happen to you. You voted for him, and he did it to you anyway. Yeah, but Biden? Yeah, okay. Obama? Okay. But you know what? Biden and Obama and Clinton, they're not in there, but you are. Wow. Do you still hate the Democrats? W. Zeus. Yeah. See, MAGA, the lesson in all of this, and I do hope you, and then I'm going to open the box and try to talk to some people out there who might have a little bit of common sense on the right. Listen, everything you think you're going to end up doing to the Democrats, it's been 100% happening to you. You are not exempt. You're not special. Get that, MAGA. You are not special. So when you go around here and y'all say, we won. What did you win? Suffering? What did you win? Higher grocery prices? What did you win? Still supporting Ukraine? What did you win? Democrats are still here. We haven't left. What did you win? No Epstein files? Think about it, MAGA. I'll be the first one to tell you, we're not winning. Do you really think we look strong right now to the rest of the world while President Xi is bringing in Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, India, Modi, and all these other countries? He's bringing them under his wing and leaving the United States out. Does that really make you feel like we are winning, MAGA? Think about this. You're losing. Goodbye to your Medicaid. Goodbye to your food benefits. Goodbye to all the research funding that's used to help protect the kids, during his State of the Union. Remember, he brought that child up there, DJ. His name was DJ. And you used him as a pawn to get the conservatives to think Donald Trump cared about those children. But then he turns around and he cuts the funding that saves that child's life. MAGA, let me be the first one to tell you, and I don't care if it makes you cry, you're not winning. You're losing. And that's a W, Zeus. All right. Well, listen up. As you can see, Big Zeus did win his appeal. And that's my other account. So make sure you're following that account. I did win my appeal, but MAGA, listen up. If what I'm saying and what you're hearing in this show is hurting your feelings, it's actually a good sign that there might be some sort of hope for you. If I'm talking and none of it bothers you, then yeah, that means there's nothing that I can do to possibly help rehabilitate you. But if what I'm saying or what you're hearing from from myself or other people who come up here is getting to you, it's a good sign that there's still hope for you. And my hope is that a lot of you get it right, so we don't have to continue to endure this. This nightmare could end, honestly, MAGA, if y'all would just simply do the right thing and stop supporting him. If you stop supporting Donald Trump today, MAGA, get this entire nightmare could end. I just thought of that. You would see this country fast tracking into a more positive direction that you could look, leave to the next generation and say, look at that. We are the United States of America. We are better than this. But until MAGA gets their head out of Donald Trump's rear end, then we're going to continue to hold your feet to the fire. W. Zeus. All right. Am I lying? Am I lying? Because, a lot of people say I lie on my show all day, and they say he lies to the people who are listening to it. I go, if I were lying as much as these people said that I would, I know good and doggone well, WVIP, I know good and doggone well, a lot of you would come up in here and you would say things to me and say, I don't like that. And then the other side is this. Just because I'm a Democrat, it doesn't mean that I agree with everything every Democrat says. All right. It doesn't mean that. All right. But where we're at right now, it's like, it doesn't matter what you claim you are. Are you able to be honest? Are you able to be honest? And that's the question. All right. Somebody says you lie every day. Demolition Man, please come up here and tell Big Zeus. And I shouldn't even have to beg you, and I wouldn't even say that's begging. That's me being polite, because I could do something else to you, Demolition Man. Come on up here and tell Big Zeus where I am lying. All right. And then I'm going to ask, I would like to be able to ask you follow-up questions as well. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you right on up here. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. He's not going to come up here because Demolition Man, what I'll say is this, and this is where I catch him. So you have a problem with liars? Demolition Man, you have a problem with liars? All right, let's see. Oh, Rooster. Come on up here, Rooster. Zeus gets paid monthly for his profile. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's called the Creative Rewards Program, Renee. And if you need help getting enrolled in it, I can help you. It's not just open to Big Zeus. It's actually open to anybody on TikTok. If you are able to be successful at what you do, Renee, and I don't understand why that's an issue. Oh, I don't understand. Oh, look at that. There's Asler, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at that. Look at that, Asler. Hey, Asler, come on back. I haven't checked in with you in a while. There's my man, Asler. Oh, Asler, where you been? Ice got you?
Man, that's what I'm here for. You always crying. You got 8 months crying about I'm gonna get deported. Let me tell you this.
No, just where have you been?
Profile.
Where have you been?
I deport myself. I was in Colombia last week. I go to Europe this month. So because
Smart
I can deport myself, right?
Okay.
We live in the light, man. We live in the light.
He's self-deported. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen.
I self-deported. I'm gone. I'm coming. This is America, man. I'm a citizen. You know that.
No, Asler, I get it because I've been wondering. I said I've never seen somebody just go off the map the way you did. So you did the other option instead of letting ICE catch you. You self-deported. All right. Well, listen. I'm glad that you did the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. Asler, I'm so glad you did the right thing. All right, but.
Why are you talking about the right thing? I'm in Houston, Texas right now.
Okay, sure. All right. Okay. So you were in Colombia. What do you think about what's going on right now, Asler?
About what exactly? I'm living the lie. I mean, gas is down. My 401k is great. Internet is going down.
Great. You got any photos that you can see? Can we see what's going on in the 401k? Yeah, show us that it's.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm not here to tell you whatever you want to call it. That's why you're getting bored right now. You have been preaching the same stuff for 8 months. We don't care anymore what you're saying.
Okay. So you don't got the 401k. Has your utility bill been cut in half?
My 401k is beautiful.
Has your utility bill been cut in half?
It's the same.
It's the same.
I give you. Hey, let me give you this one.
What has Donald Trump done?
Groceries expensive right now. I'm gonna give you that one. Yeah.
So groceries are expensive. That's a W.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And again.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, Asler, let's just cut to the chase. Donald Trump isn't doing that good, is he? He says right now this is the most successful 8 months. Can you be honest right now and tell us it's not really been a successful 8 months for him? The courts are overturning him. Everything he's doing is illegal. I mean, come on now. He hasn't released the files. He hasn't released the files, Asler. Come on now.
What about the 35,000 pages that they was released against yesterday, right?
Did you check out those?
That's a lie.
Did you check out those pages? Okay,
I'm working, man. I don't have time. You had the time to check it out.
All right, so now what I'm going to do is help Asler out. Asler, 97% of what was put out is information that's already been out there. This is the second time they've done that.
Man, I know you Democrats. You don't what Trump gonna do.
No,
even
Asler,
though he saved your family, you're never gonna believe in Donald Trump.
Asler,
you know that for fact.
What do you think about that? 97% of it is basically the same thing. And then they got some information about his flights that he took. None of it is about what we've been asking him to release since I got on board with this. You get that, right? So
okay, now you're saying that. Can you prove Donald Trump was in the Iceland one time? Can you prove it?
That I can prove that he was on the island?
Yes, sir.
No, I can't.
Sir.
I can't
do
that.
Thank you very much.
But you can't prove that he wasn't in the files, right?
Well, I mean, you're right. Yeah,
okay.
You're right on that one.
So he was in the files. His own DOJ confirmed it, and he's not releasing it. What you might not know, Asler, is this. This is the end of MAGA. You understand that? Because
it's not. Actually, Republican won 2.4 million Democrats. So we're winning. Democrats, they don't want to be in a Democrat party anymore. You should know that already.
Yeah. No, why are you bringing up that? I'm asking you about the Epstein files, and I'm trying to help you understand that Donald Trump isn't going to release those files because he's all over those files. Right?
How do you know that?
Because he showed his hand. He showed his hand. You don't. Why is he okay? Why talking about he's gonna die? Why is he risking the midterms? Why is he risking losing the midterms? You get what I mean? Over the Epstein files.
Midterm is secure with us.
No.
Man.
Are you
you
hearing?
Should know
are you hearing?
Wins that too.
Are you hearing what I'm saying right now? You know that the Republican Party is a little divided over the Epstein files. The easiest thing.
Yeah, you're right. A little bit. Even me, I was disagreeing when he said he's not going to release it, but now he said he's going to release it. So now we're good again.
No. If he were to release it, perhaps, but he hasn't done it, Asler.
Man, so you got me confused. He released 35,000 pages.
It's the same stuff. It's the same information we've already had. If he had done that, so Asler, listen, use common sense. If he had released it, why would the victims go on national television yesterday?
That's another thing, man. These ladies, for me, they bunch of flyers, man.
No.
I mean, I don't know why they came out earlier.
So the victims are liars. The survivors are liars.
Yeah, they are. How they came earlier? How they came in like right now?
So hold on, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, this is Asler, a Trump supporter, continuing 100%. Continuing traumatizing the United States of America.
Oh my God. Really?
Because Asler, all of this stuff we're doing right now, you want us to stop bashing Trump. This could end if you could just simply tell the truth and look at this situation for what it is. Why hide information like this unless you got something to hide?
I got one question for you, man. Is this lady telling the truth? Why ain't here none of these ladies in any court in any case about Donald Trump. Can you explain that to me? Because that's BS, right?
Okay.
If you have something to say, you say it like 6 years ago, 15 years ago, 14 years ago. Why in the hell are you coming right now with Donald Trump as the president? Why are you gonna affect a man is doing everything for us? And you said it right.
Are you at least going to have are you going to at least have the conversation? Because I do believe the questions you're asking, a lot of Trump supporters are asking those questions. And,
yes, sir.
And because they don't know the answer to the questions, they're still supporting Donald Trump, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And the goal should be to get to the bottom of those questions so that either your resolve for Trump is even stronger, or you have to start saying, maybe I shouldn't support him, right? So that's kind of where I think you're coming from. And my whole thing is this. There's been over 1,000 victims, survivors. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
The women you're hearing now...
you got to be agreeing most on the island, right?
Okay.
Because that's what we're talking about.
So the women that you're hearing now don't represent everyone. A lot of people, and you should know this, when things that are bad happen, they don't talk about it. They just keep it inside, right? So you got
yes,
that.
Sir.
So you can't just say, well, because I don't hear anything, it doesn't mean there's anything there.
That's true.
I'm asking you, what man would do what Donald Trump is doing to not release the files? What kind of person
but he's supposed to.
No,
that's why we vote for him.
No,
because he's not been releasing, like I told you.
Okay.
The thing it says with you is like, I don't know what is the point you want to believe in Donald Trump.
Asler, come back to where I'm at. All right, I'm really trying to do something here. What man would have a problem with you releasing the files? Take Trump out of it. Just look at it from that level. There's information here, and I'll use myself. You want access to that information, right? Imagine this. And every time you try to get access, I run interference. What would that tell you?
He didn't tell me nothing. You have Biden, he never released it, and he had the opportunity to do it. You already know that, man.
So what
the point is, like, Donald Trump is releasing this thing, releasing 35,000 pages, and you still don't believe what he's doing. That's the problem, sir. You're never, ever going to believe in Donald Trump. That's it.
Asler, either you're going to be able to work with me on this or not. I just said to you the 35,000 pages was fake.
Yeah, because you said it, that's true, right? I gotta believe you. That's what you mean.
Okay.
Like I believe in Democrats. I don't believe on no Democrats.
Okay. But let's just assume
that's why you lose, by the way, the election.
We can play it both, Asler. We can play it both ways. If I'm lying to you, guess what? I will apologize on this show. All right. If I'm lying to you, and you could go look that up. So that's if I'm lying. Now let's assume that I am true, right?
Okay.
So we don't need to go and revisit.
That's an assumption right there.
Okay. So if I'm telling you the truth, that those pages and that information that he's put out again, doesn't contain anything else that's new, and it's just him once again running interference. What does that say?
Well, that's that. I mean, it's not like the real paperwork like we have been expecting. That means he's lying to us.
Okay.
That's the answer you want. That's the answer you get.
And that's real. That's real. I give it to you.
It's
so,
no.
So let me ask.
You just trap people right now.
Let me ask you this,
you just
Asler.
Me on this answer.
Asler. No, let's go down that path together. And I'm not asking you to agree with me. I just want to see if you can see it. All right. I'm not telling you to agree with me. I just want to know if you can see it.
We all see it. I mean, I got a daughter.
If he's lying,
some people do something wrong to my daughter, I'm agree with you. I don't care if it's Trump, Biden, Obama. I mean, I'm agreeing on that since the beginning. That's why I was telling you. I got disagreement with Donald Trump saying they're not going to release it. I didn't start talking to my own people and say that's bullshit. I vote about we need this document being released, and you have been seeing it right now with your own eyes, 35,000. Now you're saying this paperwork doesn't mean shit. Okay.
Well, keep it clean now. You got to keep it clean. You can't just be cursing on. Okay.
Sorry.
So we've already.
When you gonna believe it then?
Okay, but Asler, listen. We've already explored that if it's not true what I'm saying, I'm going to apologize. So let's not keep going that direction. I want to go down this path with you. So you said that would mean Trump is lying. So then my question is, why would Trump be lying and running interference about what's in those files?
What do you mean? Because he says a host, that means it's a lie?
Yeah. Why would he be saying it?
Probably because it is. He knows Epstein. He was his friend.
So
he knows a lot of people involved.
Okay. So I'm gonna do the thinking.
It's like you.
I'm gonna do the thinking for
no,
you.
No, hold on. It's
Because
like you.
Because listen, Asler,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I need you
All
to
your
focus.
friends are good people?
No.
Thank you.
You see how I could be honest?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so let's
stick to.
Okay, so let me finish saying what I need to say because I don't got all day to argue. I don't like doing all this tongue wrestling. All right, we're grown men. We're adults. We should be able to have a serious conversation. If what I'm saying is true, meaning he's not even releasing the files, he's just reusing the same documents, throwing a little something else in it, and he's lying and calling it a hoax. What does that mean? That to me says the man has something to hide. All right?
Come on, man. Oh my God.
He's covering for something. And you have to ask yourself, why would he be covering for something like this?
You just doing some speculation right now, Zeus.
That's
all you're doing right now.
Asler, what does he get out of covering? He's going to risk the midterms.
All you need to ask yourself is like, if you got some proof, bring it in. Bring it on. You can talk all you want, but you don't have no proof about Donald Trump. That's it.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, Asler. I don't think this conversation is as productive as I was hoping it would be.
It's not because you just do your show, man. We don't care about your show about lying about my president. That's it.
Okay, all right. So here's what I'll say, and you don't really need to say nothing. It's dividing your party. Marjorie Taylor Greene has spoke up and said what she needed to say about it, and she's not a Democrat. Some of the survivors are Republican, and they've gone on record. It's not a hoax. Donald Trump hasn't released the files, all right, and he's covering for something. We also know that his own...
I don't think it's a hoax
Asler, Pam Bondi, back in May, let him know he was in those files. You can take it for what it is, but at the end of the day, Asler, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. You're the reason that this nightmare is still going on in this country, because I was asking earlier.
I support my president, real president. No, because I don't support Bidenomics, 9% inflation, and the BS you got with Biden before. We're happy with this government, man. We got 8 months being happy with Donald Trump. Okay, right. So you can send me whatever you want to send me, but we're happy with Donald Trump.
Thank you. I didn't need your permission, ladies and gentlemen. That's Asler, who's self-deported but somehow snuck across the border back in and now is in Houston. I don't know what's going on with him. But he sees at least that Donald Trump might have lied to him, but he refuses to acknowledge that Donald Trump is actually covering up some very nasty behavior, some very nasty crimes. And he refuses to acknowledge Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, which tells me everything I need to know. Asler, do me a huge favor, bro, and go straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA daily.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
You're not. You're not. All right, straight to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, so this is another example of me trying to be a reasonable person, trying to actually talk to Trump supporters and get them to see things that are just very plain and obvious. And you see their willingness to reject truth and continue fighting. And so when MAGA and the rest of us are living in this world right now with Donald Trump as the president and the suffering continues, this is another example of what I mean. The suffering continues because folks like that simply can't accept facts. They're dragging this nation on. And so we're going to spend another day going over the Epstein stuff, another day trying to shout down all the whole Joe Biden and the Democrats nonsense. Like, no one cares about that. Another day showing you how Donald Trump is harming the economy. Another day showing how ICE is actually harming Trump supporters. All of this is going to continue going on, MAGA, until you all get your heads out of Donald Trump's rear end. W. Zeus. right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, let's see who we got. All right, who do we have next? All right, good morning, Takesha. How are you?
Hey, my friend, how you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. As you can see, it's just a sad day, right?
You know, Zeus, we just gonna wait until Asler, because if you take the first part of his name, that's what he is.
Yeah.
Until he gets his day of eye-opening information, and then he gonna be all that talk he talking now. He gonna self-deport himself because he gonna be too embarrassed to stay over here. But this is what I want to say.
Talk to him.
When Donald Trump didn't lie, when he said that we are winning, we've had the most successful 8 months. He is winning. Him and his family, whoever else he making money for. Because this man's made more money in 8 months this term than he made in his last term. So yes, he's winning. We're not winning, but he is, Zeus. He's very successful in making money and making us more poor. So yeah, he winning.
Yeah. That's facts. That's fact. I'll give you that, Takesha. He's winning. What does that say about his base, though? His base, are they winning? Because
they're losing, but they think they winning because as long as he winning, that's a good thing for them. They want him to be so successful that they don't care if they got to eat bean and weenie, Zeus. As long as Donald Trump all right, they all right. They don't care that they can't afford groceries. They don't care that they can't afford gas. They just want Donald Trump to be all right at the cost of them being poor.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
It's sad their mindset, Zeus.
Yeah.
But let me talk about that victim. Well, not the survivor.
Yeah, victim survivor. I get it confused, but yeah.
That talked on the show that said she voted for Donald Trump and she hoped that he would basically advocate for them. Let me say this, Zeus.
Talk to him.
You set up as a survivor and you saw him get what? Hold on, let me get myself together. You saw him and what he did to E.Jean Carroll, and he was found liable for. You heard all those other women who said what that he did to them.
Yeah.
You heard what he said about his daughter. And you, a person who had been victimized, still set up and voted for this man knowing that he had put women through what you went through. You had no empathy for those women when you voted for him, and now you want all the empathy in the world for you from him? Let's be for real. People don't care about other people's story until it affects them. Until they can see themselves in the other people's story. She's just one person talking about he gonna help her. Wait until the files come out and she see why there's no movement. She's gonna feel like a fool.
You saying that she could have very well voted for some of the people, or that have harmed other people. She maybe not harmed her, but they could have harmed other people, right? She might have voted.
Of course she did. Of course she did. Zeus, let me tell you this.
This is sick stuff.
Let me tell you this.
Jeez.
And I'm gonna give you an answer, example. And TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Say you a rapist, right?
Yeah.
But nobody knows you a rapist. But you friends with other rapists, right?
Yeah.
The police captured them. You willing to talk about what they did at that moment.
Yeah.
Until the police said, well, we got a little evidence that you was involved too. Then all of a sudden, the evidence you got, you don't want to talk about it no more. That's what we going through, Zeus. You were willing to tell on the part that you knew until you found out you were in the files. Now all of a sudden it's a hoax. Now all of a sudden it's not true. After you found out you in the files. Now you don't want to talk about it. Now let's talk about the success that you are not having for this country, because we ain't got no part of no success. Now all of a sudden it's a hoax, and let's leave it alone.
This is crazy stuff. This is crazy. Takesha, I mean, I've never thought I would see anything like this in my life. And you brought up a good point. When I heard the survivor say, there's two of them, I'm a registered Republican. I voted for Donald Trump. It was like a punch in the stomach.
One of them said they voted for him. It was the one that was talking to, was that Lawrence?
Lawrence O'Donnell, yeah.
Yeah, the other lady just said she was a registered Republican. She didn't say she voted for him.
Fair enough.
But this one did. But I'm just saying, how can you vote for him knowing he had been liable and all the stuff that he did and said as a survivor of that life?
Well, Sue points out a good thing. It's because he said he would release the documents. And that's why I said, I believe, because I'm not, we're all dealing with our traumas in a different way. I really do believe they believe Donald Trump would do that. That's the crazy part, right? And you touched on all these other things that he did, but I do believe part of them believed that Donald Trump was going to do that.
And that's why I say that common sense has gone out the window in this country.
Someone said she didn't care about E. Jean Carroll. Now that's a valid
point. Did
point.
Not care about E. That's my thank you whoever said that. That's my whole point. She didn't care about E. Jean Carroll and what she had went through. Guess why? Because she was not E. Jean Carroll. That just like I told you, Zeus. Just like I told you about that movie, A Time to Unalive.
Yeah.
When Samuel Jackson's daughter was raped, and those three men raped her and threw 4 beer cans at her, broke her skin and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she was black, and the town didn't care, and the jury was ready to, put him in jail for taking their lives.
Yeah.
And the only way he got off is when his lawyer, which was Matthew McConaughey, gave his closing statement. And he said, can you picture her, soaked in their urine, beat up and all that? And then at the end, he said, now, can you see her? He said, now picture that little girl white. And that's how Samuel Jackson got off for that in that prejudiced town. Until they can see themselves, they do not honestly care, Zeus.
That's sad. That's sad. That's a sad situation we're in as a country, because you would think a lot of them, especially being God-fearing, supposedly.
God-fearing?
Yeah. I'm sorry to have said that. I'm sorry to say that. I forgot who I was talking to.
Zeus.
Sorry.
Zeus. Zeus, these people don't fear God. They don't have no fear of God. Lord. They don't even know what fear of God means. It really means reverence him. Yeah. But they don't have no fear of him. They don't reverence him. These people don't know God for real, Zeus. Nope. You can tell by the way they act. You can tell by the things they say. You can tell by the things they do. They do not know who God really is. They don't have a relationship with him. They don't. They just out here, they think if they just say the word God, that they good. No, they're not. But I'm going to tell you this, Zoo, and I ain't trying to scare y'all, but listen.
Talk to them.
Them countries coming together against the United States, that's in the Bible. That's going to be the battle of Armageddon. Get prepared. I won't be here because I'll be gone with the Lord.
Hey, take me with you. All right, seriously.
Well, you got to get in heaven yourself, Zeus. Yeah. Because the Bible said that the believers scarcely get in. So I'm being squeezed my way in. I can't take you with me now. You got to get yourself in there.
All right, then. Listen, put in a good word for me if you don't mind, all right? Because you know what I'm going to do is say, leave the Trump supporters behind to fight the battle of Armageddon. All right?
Well, get where you going to be at, Zeus, right here with them. You can't have that kind of heart, Zeus.
Hey,
stop
cut it out. You're right, though. W, Takesha.
Yeah, but that's what I wanted to say. They really got to cut it out. You got to have empathy for people no matter what. You got to have empathy for people even if you didn't go through what they went through when they have been wronged. But you cannot take up for the person that wronged them just because you like them.
Yeah. And he brought up a valid point.
Ansler's so lost, Zeus, to if we had a spotlight over the whole United States, we couldn't find him. That's just how lost Ansler is.
we gonna keep him in our prayers, all right, and hopefully he
Sometimes
gets it right.
you have to kick the dust off your feet and keep on going.
Yeah.
Absolutely lost cause. I got to say my prayers for other folks.
Amen, amen. Well then, never mind. Keep up the great work.
All right,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Takesha a huge round of applause. No lies detected. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following. That's my backup account, because as you can see, the way that we carry on and deliver the truth here on this platform, we have a lot of people out there who don't like us. I call them Zeus haters, and they screen record these conversations. Yeah, that's my main account. And by the way, there's a video that I posted on there. This is the most recent video. It turns out Jesse Waters, Fox News, he had some choice words for Big Zeus. And that means he's listening and he knows he can't say it. So he plays it on Fox so that his dear leader, Donald Trump, will hear what I had to say. And yeah, none of us want to see Donald Trump drag this country into a war with Venezuela. Whatever happened to no new wars, right? And so that's a W Zeus. But that's my main account. Oh, somebody said not a single truth told. All right, come on up here. You said that there's not a single truth told on this account. Come on up here. And tell me why you feel that way. It doesn't bother me. All right, I'm a fair person. I catch a lot of flack perhaps for being a little too fair, but I'm a fair person. I don't mind having difficult conversations as long as they're respectful and productive, right? And this is what makes me what I am, and it makes a lot of the Trump supporters what they are, which in my opinion is nothing but a bunch of confused, lost losers, all right? And so they didn't want to come up here and try to say what I was lying about, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you a friendly reminder.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, fair enough. So do we have any Trump voters that want to come up here real quickly, or I'll keep the echo chamber on high. It doesn't bother me, but are there any Trump supporters that are brave enough to get up here and try to defend their dear leader? Put a 1 in the chat. All right, put a 1 in the chat, and I'll address whatever it is. But you just got to be able to keep it clean and stay on topic. All right, and a lot of you can't stay on topic. All right, and I don't know why that is. Asler, listen, Asler, we were having a decent conversation, but when you just flat out refuse to acknowledge the facts that I was laying in front of you, it just turns it into a situation where I'm going, why am I going to continue wasting my time with this moment? All right, we don't got all day, ladies and gentlemen, to do this. All right, so let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got? Good morning, Bird Bath. Welcome to the show. It's the first time seeing Bird Bath. Good morning, Bird Bath. Going once. Perhaps this was an accident. Going once. Send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you right on up here. Let's see. Oh, who do we have next? Oh, my good friend, my brother Nutty, actually. Yeah, Nutty. I haven't seen him in a minute, but Nutty, how are you doing, bro? Going once. Uh-oh.
I'm doing well. I am going to temper my words today.
That's nice.
And this is gonna shock you because I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna hold back a lot of emotion.
All right.
Takesha hit the nail on the head for me. Exactly what I want to speak about. First of all, I absolutely stand firm on the statement, believe women. I stand firm on that. But Zeus, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because in believing women, and I hear a survivor say that they voted for Donald Trump. I'm struggling. Are you really a survivor? This is what I'm struggling with.
Me too.
Because is she suffering from the Stockholm syndrome? I believe women.
She said that she believed Trump was going to release the files. I could see that angle, but then I can't see.
Zeus, I see the angle that you're saying. I see that angle. But how can you believe anything from someone who is a known SAR?
And did they know about the E. Jean Carroll case? You know what I mean?
Zeus, how did she not? That E. Jean Carroll case is not being litigated. It already has been litigated. How could she not? Has she been living under a rock? So
I don't have the answers for this. But to your point, I'm struggling too.
These are rhetorical questions.
Yeah.
These are rhetorical. I'm struggling because did she not hear that Access Hollywood tape where he grabbed women by the vagina? Did she not hear the multiple interviews from The View to the Wendy Williams show? No, excuse me. I said I was going to temper my words. She's a survivor of some sort of abuse. And being in that realm that she's in with JE.
Yeah.
And knowing the type of people that was in his orbit, how could she, in good conscience, support this man?
Hurt people hurt people. That's what they say.
Because Zeus, I'm still struggling with that, Zeus. I'm still struggling.
Because the whole country is being drugged through this matter. And that's what makes this even way more traumatizing. It's like it's a daily dose of the trauma.
Zeus, I'm gonna pull a Takesha here. For entertainment purposes only. I'm gonna pull a Takesha. If somebody unalived my daughter, and that somebody was on a list, and they were running for president, or if he was in that same group of people, just because I want that list brought to the forefront, I'm not going to vote for that person who unalived my daughter just to get a list. Yeah. Zeus, 2 + 2 is not equaling 4 right here. It's just not equaling for me. And I watched the press conference. I watched it yesterday. I watched it with the other lady who came up and said that she was a registered Republican that Takesha was referring to. I watched the body language of her. Listen, again, I'm believing women. I'm not saying that this lady's lying. I'm not saying that at all. But if you watch that video, even her demeanor was different from all the other survivors. It was different. I could never put my finger on why it was different. It was very arrogant. It was very arrogant. When the other survivors, they were saying their truth. They were, and you felt what they were saying. You felt when they spoke, you felt it. Your heart went out to them. But it was just something about that woman with the glasses. The one that said she's a registered Republican. First of all, I didn't need to know that she was a registered Republican. Because the one thing that's true and will always be true, this is not about a political ideology. This is about victimization of children and women. And notice I changed my words really quick because I'm not calling children women. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. If you are under the age of consent, you are a child. They were victimizing children. And it progressed into women. I cannot put my finger on it. The truth is not truthing right now.
Brittany, you're asking. I'm confused, Brittany. Nutty, sorry. She's saying I don't know how Brittany is processing this, but we're really trying to unpack this moment, all right, Brittany, because there's a lot of confusion going on about how a person could still vote for Donald Trump. All right, but if you have a question, you can come on up here and ask Nutty and I that question, but this is serious business.
Because Zeus, you've known me for years now.
Yeah.
And when I tell you I'm tempering my words, you know I am tempering my words right now. Because I just want to understand. I want to understand because I absolutely want justice for these ladies. I want justice for the hundreds or maybe even thousands of names that we don't even know.
Yeah.
I want justice for those people. I want justice for the the victims who are unalive now because maybe they took their own life or they unalive by natural causes, but they still deserve justice. Because he is still walking around on this earth. He is still considering giving Ghislaine Maxwell a pardon. He is still doing the damn deeds that he's been doing. I want justice. I don't care. If you notice, nobody flinched when they said the word Bill Clinton. You didn't see Democrats in a tizzy. Because guess what? You know what Bill Clinton said, Zeus?
What?
He told Congress to go ahead and bring him in. He didn't even need a subpoena.
Yeah. That's good.
But give him the subpoena so he can be under oath.
Yeah.
Give him the subpoena. Hillary said the same thing. Because guess what? Yes, they were in the orbit of Jeffrey Epstein. Absolutely. We know that there are hundreds of names that we would just be shocked with that was in his orbit because of who he was and because of how much money and the wealth that he had. But just because they were in his orbit doesn't mean that they knew and that they did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it comes out that they did anything wrong, hang them all. Hang them all. Hang them by the pinky toe. Hang them by the hair on their chins.
Yeah.
Hang them all.
Yeah.
I don't care what letter is next to your name. Because you are evil, you're disgusting, you are vile, and you do not deserve to be walking the face of this earth. Because it's not about the children. You know, Ange brought up a very good point. She had a background. She had a background on her live the other day. Her background, it was a black screen with just words. And these words were power. It hit me, Zeus. She said, if we protected children like they are protecting the Epstein files. No, she said, we should protect children like we're protecting the Epstein files. Let that sink in, y'all. Let that sink in. If we were protecting children like Donald Trump is protecting these Epstein files, we wouldn't have had Minnesota happen. If we were protecting children, we wouldn't be hearing countless every single day about this young child being great. This young child being great. The priest is doing this. The coach is doing this. We wouldn't be hearing about this stuff because we would be doing what we're supposed to do, and that's protecting children.
Amen. Amen. He's not lying. He's not lying.
Now, I said that I'm tempering my words, but I didn't say I wasn't going to crash out. I cannot get what's going on because you cannot spit in my face, pee on my leg, and tell me that it's raining and snowing outside. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting out of here.
All right.
But there's 1.7K people in here. If you see something, say something. By the sheer job that I hold, I am a mandated reporter. And guess what, Zeus?
What?
I didn't have to be a mandated reporter. Because if I see something, I'm going to talk like the jailhouse snitch. I'm going to say something. Because it is about protecting children. It's about protecting children.
Yeah.
And one more thing.
Go ahead.
This Sunday at 5 p.m., we're going to be, we got done with the Constitution as far as the amendments are concerned. We're going to be going over the articles. We're going to start over and we're going to go over the articles.
Yeah.
Asler, I invite you. We're going to be on Val's account. So when you see Val blinking, when you see me blinking, come on in. Class is in session. Get your pen, get your pad, and learn something.
Yeah.
Learn something. We're going to be on Val's account.
Amen.
It's all about giving people the knowledge. The funny thing is, Zeus, that all the immigrants that come in here, they know about this document more so than natural born citizen, and that's scary. That's scary. Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to say, the James Brown story.
Yeah.
I bet you her husband thought that he was the James Brown. And so he's out there saying, I feel good, because he was just trying to get rid of her.
Yeah,
so that was a good way to get rid of her.
Oh, you went there, Nutty W, Nutty. Lord have mercy.
He's feeling good right now because he's rid of her. And now he ain't got to pay alimony. He ain't got to pay nothing. And he got rid of her. He like, go ahead, deport her wherever you want to deport her. He's like, I'm going to take her on this nice last vacation. I'm going to take her on this nice last vacation thinking she got the life of gold, thinking that she got the American dream. And then as soon as we get back to the United States, her home is going to be in detention centers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I voted for Trump to do exactly what he is doing.
Amen.
Have a good day, Zeus.
All right, W Antifa, W Nutty. No lies detected. Oh, look at this. Terry, you said Jesse Waters roasted me. What do you mean by that, Terry? Come on up here, Terry. What happened? Tell us how Jesse Waters roasted Big Zeus yesterday, Terry. I sent you an invite. I'll listen to you and spew your lies, Terry. Exactly, just what I thought. Yeah. Well, Terry, come. What did you see, Terry? Come on up here. I just sent you an invite. You said that I was on Fox News. Great, and I hope they actually got my messages to where they needed to be. Because unlike you, Terry, I actually care about this country, and you know that I was right when I said what I said. Yeah, he said no new wars, but then he's doing all these things to try to drag us into one of these forever wars, right? He showed my TikTok. All right. Well, Terry, listen, you can follow my main account, and I actually responded to Jesse Waters. All right, but I want to go back to what Nutty said, and I get it. It's very difficult for us. It really is. It really is difficult. But, Takesha spoke on it, and then I'm going to bring up the next panelist. How could you ignore E. Jean Carroll? I don't have the answer for it. I really don't. But as Nutty was talking, a voice came to mind. A woman's voice came to mind. And I just don't know, how could you have ignored this? And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this on the record.
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious. Consider not only the chaos and calamity when he was in office, but also the gravity of what has happened since he lost the last election. Donald Trump tried to throw away your votes. When he failed, he sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol where they assaulted law enforcement officers. When politicians in his own party begged him to call off the mob and send help, he did the opposite. He fanned the flames. And now, for an entirely different set of crimes, he was found guilty of fraud by a jury of everyday Americans and separately found liable for committing sexual abuse.
She said it.
And consider what he intends to do if we give him power again. Consider his explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers at the Capitol. His explicit intent to jail journalists political opponents, and anyone he sees as the enemy. His explicit intent to deploy our active duty military against our own citizens. Consider the power he will have, especially after the United States Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution. Just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails.
She told all of us this would happen. And I'm with Nutty and Takesha and a lot of you. I'm struggling personally because I'm a fair person. And, and I also I don't like to dwell on the past. It is what it is. But I just don't get it. Like, what could we have done better to help the message sink in? What could have been done better? That's one angle. But then also, are we actually all taking responsibility the way that we should? Like, no one's going to give you the truth in a nice little present with a bow tie on it and a card and signature. But you got to take the information how it comes and be able to truly process it. And I'm just going to sit here and say it. And I don't want to make this the point, but it is something that needs to be addressed. We just can't sweep it under the rug. How could you have ignored what Kamala Harris and E. Jean Carroll said and still went and voted for Donald Trump? Because, and I think Brittany was asking it, why are we bringing it up? It's because we're all now a part of this. The whole country, the whole nation is a part. I mean, the trauma is what it is. But at the end of the day, the entire country is now involved in the Epstein thing. And so I don't got the answers to it, but we're all now involved. Like I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. I don't know who Donald Trump is, but these two individuals seem to be dominating a lot of people's brain spaces as of late. And Elon even went and did it on his platform X. He said it when him and Trump had the falling out. You know what? He's not going to do it because he's all over the files. So yeah, now we're all in this. And the easiest way out, MAGA, is if all of you would just simply be honest about what's going on. All right, let me go to the box and bring up the next panelist. Okay, I'm so sorry. I sometimes I get caught up on my little rants. All right. Who do we got? I gotta do it. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Brother Val. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
All right, how's it going?
Good. Answer to your question.
Yeah.
Active listening. Okay? People no longer actively listen. They subjectively listen. They listen specifically for what fits the narrative that is in their head at that particular moment in time.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay attention to what people are saying because they don't feel like it involves them.
Yeah.
And they listen out of hate. Okay? That is really where we're at. There's been so much hate put out there. That is what they listen to. And it also leads them to justifications that nobody should make. That is, and we're hearing it every day. Since yesterday morning, we hear it every day. It's about them justifying their decision rather than just saying it was wrong.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. I mean, yesterday it'll go down in history as one of the most disgusting, you know what I'm saying, as one of, the most disgusting things we witnessed in America. This is
talk to him, Val.
20 plus, it's actually over 20 years. It's almost 30 years of this since it has happened. And we are watching American citizens try to justify this in the name of Donald Trump. There is no justification. You can't make a justification. And, we can go back and forth whether there's names there or not there. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you what matters. What matters is what also we witnessed yesterday outside of the event itself. The day before the event, the president saying the White House coming out and saying that if anybody votes for this bill in the House, it would be considered an act of war.
Get out of here.
That's a bold statement for somebody that's wanting to vote to release a set of files.
Wait, time out, Val. Did you say an act of war?
Yeah, that was the word used.
Hostile act? Wow.
Okay.
All that to try to, this is tied to demanding for the Trump administration to release the Epstein files. He's considering it an attack on him.
Right. He's considered in an attack. Okay. And then he comes out, they make a statement through the White House, through social media yesterday, that if any Republican member votes for this, they will face consequences. I mean, where are these? Why are you doing? One, you're the one that promised. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that said this is something you would consider or do. Okay. You're the one that said, yeah, we'll release them. Yes, they need to be released. You've made several statements over the years of this campaign coming into the White House. You made these statements. Now that they're going to get released, and then you release 33,000 pages of nothing. And so everybody knows that 33,000 pages is less than 1% of these files. Less than 1%.
But you see how Asler and folks like him, they are running around here acting like Donald Trump has released the files.
He hasn't released nothing. He released 33,000 pages that have maybe 200 pages that you can read that have nothing on them. There's entire pages completely redacted. It is nuts. Y'all fall for this. And there's nothing there. And it's less than 1% of the files. That's not what the American people are asking for. We want to know who these people are. This is what I want Republicans to think about. I want you to think about the power, money that it takes to hide harming children for almost 30 years.
Terry?
That is what you need to be thinking about. And you asked a great question a minute ago.
Yeah.
How can you give up on, how could you not believe Eugene Carroll? Well, that was the start of you falling down this trap. That was truly the start of you falling down this trap.
And ignoring Kamala, because it's one thing when we men say things, but I also think it does add more credibility when other women say it. And so when you have, I guess, E. Jean Carroll and then Kamala Harris basically echoing the same thing, I go, what more do you, because, we were saying it too, but what more could, where did you said it's a trap, Val, but I just don't get how that was overlooked.
Right. I mean, this is the thing. I don't get how it was overlooked either, but well, actually I do. Pride. Your better judgment got overruled by your pride. This is why the Bible says pride is dangerous.
Yeah.
Pride is the devil's work. This is, what I'm saying? This is why it says that, because your pride let you vote for this. For all the people that go, write all the stupid stuff down there, like, why didn't Biden release them? Biden could not. They were part of an active investigation. There's one simple answer here that I don't know why your pride won't let you see. Donald Trump ended all those investigations. Donald Trump, in the current Department of Justice, ended all those investigations. Not Biden.
No, sir.
Okay.
Val is not lying. You can go actually look up the answer yourself, too, to these questions. It's like...
Yeah, he ended that investigation. Now, when those investigations ended, sir, when he took the people out and fired some of them that were actually looking into these files, when he did that, he then made it capable for it to be released.
Yeah.
Biden never had that opportunity. So please stop with that narrative, because that, yet again, is your pride overcoming your better judgment. That is where we're at in this country today.
Yeah.
When it comes to children, there should be no mountain we won't cross. None.
Yeah, my mom used to say, my parents used to say, there's a couple things I don't mind, doing time for. And one of them, Val, was if someone was to harm her children, that's immediate grounds to go and serve time. And so that's the energy. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how people could support Donald Trump despite all this evidence that Donald Trump's a terrible person. And he's actually calling it a Democrat hoax. But everybody that was promising to release him were MAGA. And his supporters still can't see it.
Right. I mean, this is not a new case. Sir, you can ask these questions. But you know what? Let's just go back at the beginning of this. Why didn't Bill Clinton release him? Why didn't, you know what I'm saying? Why didn't George W. Bush release him? Why didn't Barack Obama release him? Why didn't Donald Trump release him his first term? You could ask those questions that way. Truth of the matter is we know the answer to the early parts of this question were power and money.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no ifs, but now the excuses are gone. They're over. There's no more excuses.
None.
And it is, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny, there's another thing I want people to remember. It was not, you've got Republicans out there now acting like they're the heroes, like, the Speaker of the House. I want everybody to remember it was a short 31 days ago that the Speaker of the House released Congress early so they would not have to vote on this measure.
Yeah.
And you know why they don't want to vote on this measure? Because this ain't like a House committee, or this ain't like a committee. A committee can vote on things and ask for information and stuff like that, but those requests can be forwarded, or you know what I'm saying, put off. A vote by the House of Representatives as in its entirety can't be held off. They have to release them. That can't be held off. That is why they do not want to see this vote. I want you to keep that in mind. They do not want to see this vote because they would have to give up the files at that very moment.
Yep.
And after 30 years, I'm just going to say it, the victims and the American people deserve this information.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Absolutely. Val. Listen, brother, I appreciate you, all right? We're going to try to squeeze a couple of more in here. Then we're gonna
Not a problem, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, huge Val in the chat. I enjoy Val's voice. It's smooth, it's calm, it's factual, and it does an excellent job getting MAGA stirred up because they know what he's saying is, and they don't ever want to argue with you, Val. You know that, right? They never,
I know.
They never want to argue with Val. All right, but thank you again. All right, let's move it along.
See you, buddy.
All right, see ya. Let's move it along. All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Let's see. How do we do this? Oh my God. Let's see. Let's get up. Let's see. Good morning, my good friend, Miss Morningstar. How are you doing, sis? Long time no see.
Yeah, I'll be listening. So, I just want to get in a comment because I watch Lawrence every night, Lawrence O'Donnell.
Yeah.
And I actually watched the news press conference with the ladies, and it was really sad to hear and watch and see.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling too, Zeus. I'm like you. I'm struggling with how you, Takesha, Nutty, with this after this interview with Lawrence O'Donnell, because I can't wrap my finger around, like you just said. You just played this video.
Yeah.
With Kamala.
Yeah.
And she forecast everything that is happening to us right now. She forecasted. And I mean, most would think like, how did she know? Yeah. It was so evident that this was going to happen. And this is the problem when people don't listen to Black women don't listen to women, period.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have this lady, this young lady, or young woman. She's a woman now.
Yeah.
Who went through something horrific as a child, horrific. And I heard you say earlier, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, that's what I've
And
been
it
told.
it's obvious. No, it's very true. It's very true because it's kind of like she is stuck in Stockholm syndrome. Because how could you vote for someone, and it's no way you missed all of the news about Eugene Carroll and him grabbing women by the pee and him being his misogynist ways, what he did to his ex-wife. I mean, there's no way you could have missed all of those details, all of that information, and still go into the booth and press the button for this demon.
I'm trying to deal with it on my own too, Morningstar, because again, I don't take the bait no more when people start acting like they tougher than they really are. And then they get you to they open up the door for you to do bad stuff, and then you be like, "Oh, I thought you could handle." Like, I'm not taking the bait, and so I do believe in holding ourselves accountable. And to your point, I'm going, is there a logical explanation for how a person that has gone through what they've gone through, and maybe I just don't know, but is there a logical way to explain this? And that's all I'm hoping I could get.
I really don't know if it's logical, but I see some things that I've learned over the past few weeks just by our show that we do for our plugs, where we had a few guests on and they talked about accountability, and they also talked about value identity. And in her particular case, this young lady has no value. She's empty. She's a shell of a person. She's empty because she lost something that was stolen from her at a very young age. Dignity, respect. Everything was taken from these ladies as children. And through these years, have they ever had anyone give them or tell them about their value, or give them an idea how to build up their value, how to love themselves, how to become, we don't know. Obviously, you went into that booth and you pressed the button for a person that mimics your capture. You have Stockholm syndrome. You push the button for someone who mimics your capture, the one who took everything from you. And I just think that it is sad and it is hard. It is hard right now to have the empathy that we want to have, because now the world is suffering because of this demon, this demonic. And not saying that her vote would have changed the whole dynamic, but it damn sure would make the people who want to stand 10 toes behind you feel a lot different.
Because no one wants to stand 10 toes down for somebody that's going to snake them and sabotage them in the back. Right? So
because at the end of the day,
a lot of us feel like we've been, sabotaged, poked in the back, because it's going, we've done all this work to try to point out this guy's terrible person, and you mean to tell me you went and did that?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want to. No, Angus, if you're getting triggered by listening to Miss Morningstar, then this is a good thing.
Angus. Hush.
No, but that means somewhere deep down inside you've penetrated his dark, desolate, cold soul. What's left of it, and he's starting to feel a little guilty about the things he's done. So thank you, Miss Morningstar, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
keep triggering deranged Angus.
You're welcome, Angus. I brought the demon out of you. Because at the end of the day, we as women, most women I know have went through some sort of trauma. And that is not something that you just brush over your shoulder and you go on about your day. Yes, life does go on, but that demon still stirs up in you. It's still there. That haunts you. It's like PTSD.
Yep.
And for you to know these things about this person, and then the way that she spoke yesterday on Lawrence O'Donnell's show, I felt her pain.
Yeah.
But she was pleading. She was literally pleading with this demon who's not going to release the files. He's not going to.
Yeah.
He's evil. He's an evil man.
Yeah.
And the reason we know he won't do it is because he is the file. Okay? So we know he is not going to do it.
Yeah.
But in her mind, because she's sick, she is sick. And
we're praying for these folks.
I pray for these
praying
people.
for these people.
No, seriously, I do. I really pray for these people because it's trauma. And she, unfortunately, her and probably a few other people, who might have pressed the button for the demon, they have not valued themselves. They don't love themselves enough to do right things. And right now, you couldn't even think about other people. No empathy for Eugene. No empathy for all the other 24 women that accused him of things.
Yeah.
27. No empathy for any of them. You couldn't even think of them. And you pressed the button for a demon. So I'm struggling, Zeus. I just need to get up here
Katie
and say,
Johnson too. Yeah, all of the
Katie Johnson, and it's on.
E. Jean Carroll alter ego. You know what we're saying. Let's not start acting like you all of a sudden are some sort of vocabulary villain. Knock it off.
I said E. Jean. I didn't. Did I say Eugene or whatever? You know what I was talking about.
We know what we're saying up here.
Quit playing word games, okay?
Yeah, it's focus.
Yeah.
And I know why alter ego did that, because he's one of those type, and I won't get into that, but thank you, Miss Morningstar, as always.
You're welcome. Right? I just, thanks for having me up, Zeus, and we'll just keep everybody lifted. I mean, that's all we can do.
Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, take care,
Zeus. Miss Morningstar, and I'm seeing the comments, and I do believe there's something to it. Can a person be a survivor and racist? I got to ask a question. Can a person be a survivor and a racist? Because I would hate to think that we didn't listen to Kamala Harris. Let me look at the chat. There's a lot of, see, y'all I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. But now the thought's up there. And again, somebody needs to make it make sense to me. And just in case you're just tuning in, what's not making sense to a lot of us is, listen, we're all down to rumble in the jungle, all right? All right, and I have a saying, don't call me unless you need backup, all right? And if you need backup, we're coming there and we're going to take care of business, all right? And so what's happening with the Epstein files is there's been a call, the bat signal has gone up, all right? This is a call to action no matter what side of the aisle you're on. Boots on the ground, get the files out there. But I also say, don't call me to no BS, all right? This got to be something, because I value my freedom too. So don't call me to get involved with something that's you yourself should have been able to handle unless it's truly an emergency. So I feel like the emergency button has been pressed, and now it's time for all of us to be involved. So as we're locking arms and we're trying to get this outcome of the files being released, I'm going to get to the bottom of why I'm here, right? I'm going to figure out, is this really something I really need to be invested in or not? And so with that, I'm just putting it out there. It has to make sense. I'm very concerned. And this is why I've been on this type of time, actually, since the beginning of this week. To the conservative women out there, please knock it off. Please knock it off. All right? Playtime is over. Whatever those issues are, if you truly need help, we're here to help you. But I'm not down with helping people that are secretly sabotaging Big Zeus on the back end by running towards and doing things that would actually cause me harm. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I would encourage anybody, don't put yourselves in harm, danger. If somebody doesn't value you, why should you help them? That's where I'm at right now. I don't get it, and I'm putting it out there. I don't get how you can honestly be a survivor and ignore what E. Jean Carroll said, all right? I don't get that. I don't get how you could be a survivor and ignore what 27 other women have said. I don't get that. I don't get how you could be a survivor and ignore whether women Cassidy Hutchinson has said about working in the Trump administration. I don't get how you could ignore Vice President Kamala Harris. I don't get how you could actually run around here and say, oh, she slept her way to the top. I don't get it. And then say, hey, Come lock arms with me. I need your help getting the Epstein files. I voted for Trump. I don't get it. I don't get it. And again, I'll be honest with you, and this is what makes me Triple H. I'm honest. I'll tell you it. Humble. If I owe people an apology for saying some of that, and because it may not have came out the right way, I don't have a problem. But I'm just hoping that someone out there can make this make sense, because I don't want to be locking arms with folks that are actually going to turn around and try to sabotage me on the back end. All right. What I'll do is this. Let's try to see if I could get one more panelist to come on up here. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. All right. Maybe one or two more. Maybe.
Hey, Zeus.
Hi, Shay. How are you doing? Good morning.
I'm okay. Man, I tell you, yesterday was that was an interesting day for so many reasons. I mean, not only the presser, the victims, and survivors, but seeing what happened when you went into that live with Dark MAGA or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I was out at a wine function, but I got the call that you were like, I was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh Lord, I tell you. And it's so sad, because that's the point that I think they can't answer. They want to do the distraction. Why didn't this person release it? Why didn't this person release it? Can we just cut the crap, people? Just cut it. Just cut it. Just cut it. You're running on this whole narrative. Democrats never talk about it. Your favorite person that was up in the box against, whatever.
Yeah.
I make all these videos about, child da-da-da-da, and I do all this, and y'all never talk about it. That's because we don't run on that stuff, but it does matter. That's why we didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah.
See, you guys are under the guise that the Republicans really care about children. We learned a long time ago they don't. They run on fear mongering.
Yeah.
They don't run on issues. They don't run on policy anymore. They run on emotional issues. Abortion, child trafficking,
transgender,
and the bathroom, the boogeyman that's going to get you. And that's the thing, you watch Nancy Mace, who is a survivor as well, right?
Yeah.
And she was shook to the core, right? But I got to ask Nancy Mace, name one transgender woman that's ever attacked someone in the bathroom. Name one. Okay? And you're okay with Caitlyn Jenner going in there because she's a Trump supporter. So,
W. Shay, you just did it. W. Shay, yeah.
I mean, it's the ridiculousness, and it's like, I'm sorry you went through what you went through, Nancy, but how dare you victimize other people while you yourself are a survivor? How dare you do that?
That's a thing. I didn't know that's a thing.
It is. And so I'd sit there and go, you want to feel for these people, but at the same time, like Nutty's struggling, we're all struggling, and we want to feel for these people. But at the same time, it's like, but how dare you sit there and go, I'm shook to my core, but yet I'm going to go around and victimize a bunch of innocent people because I don't like it, because I want to demonize this group. I want to run on this group. That's all the Republicans have. So now you've got a president of the United States telling you it's a hoax, holding a press conference in the White House during this, right? Yeah. During when the survivors are speaking. There's a flyover that happens.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah. And she knew that they were trying to interrupt her. So because she stopped talking, pointed up in the sky and let it go over, and she kept going. So make it make sense, MAGA. He said he's going to release it. All your MAGA heads have said, let's do transparency, including Marjorie Taylor Greene. All of them ran on it. They've got the chance to open it up, and the reason they're not doing it, why? I mean, and then they call it a hoax? Every time he tries to tell you to stop talking about it, he calls it a hoax. So you tell me. Yeah.
And Terry, just to be honest, Terry, he told you you're weak because you were asking for it. So what does that say? He called you a bunch of losers.
He sure did. He called you a bunch of losers, and how dare you ask for something I promised you on the campaign trail. Stop talking about it. I'm not going to release it. Whether he's in it or not, he's covering for somebody or some people. So does he care about the survivors, the victims? Nope. We all know he doesn't care about women. We all know this. He's got a history of talking about women in the way he does. He doesn't care about women. And so you guys keep crying over there and saying, oh, they didn't say Trump isn't in it. They won't tell you. See, I'm going to end on this, my friend. 9 of the 10 of the victims have never been out publicly. Not their names, not their faces. 9 of the 10 yesterday.
Wow.
And the reason they're not going to say whether he is or isn't is because they could be unalived. They actually all need to go into the witness protection program. So just because one said, well, no, I never saw him, or no, I don't know about Trump or whatever, is not saying he's not in it. It's not saying he's not part of it. They're not going to say he's in it publicly. In fact, when the names are released, they will not know which of the survivors said or testified who is in it. They can't.
Yeah.
They will be unalive. These are people that attacked the Capitol over a loss of an election. You don't want to mess with these people. And now they're in mass out being, in ICE right now, right? Masked up. So those people could find these women, find their families, and do everything they can.
Yeah.
Donald Trump sent a message to the Republican caucus and said this will be a hostile act if you pass this bill. A hostile act.
Explain that, Terry.
Explain this, MAGA.
While
Why
you're
is it a
supposedly
hostile
working.
act?
While you're supposedly working and listening to this live. Liar.
Yeah, right. Does your boss know you're on TikTok?
Yeah. She says she can't come up because she's working, but she sure is engaging that comment section like you know what.
Right?
Okay, earbuds. Okay, Terry.
Okay.
Fair enough. And then how are your fingers doing the chatting? How's that happening?
You on your lunch break?
Yeah, yeah. She's
10
been
in the
here for
morning?
2 hours. 2 hours, earbuds, bud. Okay, Terry. Fair enough.
Exactly. It's so silly. You guys need to wake up. I know you're hating this. I get it. You're hating it. You're trying to do everything you can to defend this man to your dying breath. And we get it. But you know what? It's coming out. It's very clear. And by the way, somebody can talk about the bond markets right now. You could talk about the amount of jobs that have been lost, the numbers. And remember, he fired the woman in the BLS, right?
Yeah.
But the numbers are so bad right now. I think 65,000 added jobs only.
Wow.
And the loss is ridiculous. It's lower than it was during COVID. It's lower than it was in 2007, I think. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But look at the bond markets. Guys, we're technically in a recession right now.
Yeah, and I don't even trust the numbers that he's going to be releasing.
No, but
after that last stunt he pulled, it's like, okay, so we're not going to get accurate numbers. What are we trusting? Your gas price, your utility bill, grocery store prices. We're back to that until we get honesty out of the administration.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if y'all know anything about the economy, if you play with anything, look at the bond markets. This is bad. It's looking really bad. Can we maybe recover? Maybe. But watch how the billionaires move. Watch what they do, because they know what they're doing. Big time job. Y'all, we're not winning. MAGA's not winning. This is really not good.
Yeah.
What's going on? So anyway, but y'all keep your heads where they are, up your, who's. And this is, it's apparent what's going on. And we're going to keep speaking the truth. And yes, we care about this country. Yes, we love this country. Yes, we care about women and children.
Amen.
Stop being silly. Anyway,
Amen.
my friend, thank you for having me. And hey, I'm so glad you're so famous in Fox News.
Hey, thank you, Shay. Because they see me on Fox News, the Zeus haters, and they're sitting there going, "We did everything we could to get onto the Fox News."
They're so funny. They're so jealous.
Yeah, but they can't
Snuggles
even
thought
get...
he had something on you there. It's so funny.
Yeah.
He would love if he was on CNN or whatever.
Yeah, I've been on all of them. We've been on all of them together, and it's a testament to all the hard work we've been doing on this platform. Right. They're looking and they're going, wow, these guys, they get up here every day, dedicated, and they defend their country. Yeah, the video's on my main account, the most recent video. You could go check it out. Jesse
go check it out, guys.
He thought he was taking me out, but he just embarrassed himself. And I was like, you know what? You don't have to do that. If you need to have a conversation with me, you know how to find me. Just come on to this show, Jesse, and I'll go on to Fox, and I'll tell them like it is, because Donald Trump listens to Fox. and I just say what it is. Let's go through this list, and you just tell me has it been accomplished. And then, by the time you know what they'll do, they'll kick me off the show. Who cares?
What has he done besides closing the border, quote unquote?
Yeah.
It's not closed.
No, it's not.
It's
20
not
million.
closed, people. It can't be closed, by the way. But yes, it is
Yeah.
slowed down because a lot of things have opened up for people to stay home. You guys don't understand. Mass migration has happened all over the world. Every country's been dealing with mass migration. It's not the only. We're not the only country, but you guys don't know that. Oh no, it's Biden. Biden caused all of it. Yes,
tell them.
And Barack Obama's sock. It's all its fault. I'm telling you. Anyway, okay, I gotta go. I love you.
All right, W.W. Shay. All right. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, listen up. Big Zeus has to get up out of here. I didn't realize the time was flying the way that it was, and I wanted to talk to so many more of you. But I have to get up out of here and run. Oh my goodness. I want to give a special thank you to each and every single one of you who listened to this broadcast, even MAGA. All right, I'll say that. Because I know MAGA, they know what I'm saying is true, and they know what we're saying is true, but it's so painful for them to admit it. But I got to say thank you. Not as much as to the regular people that are actually doing the work to help make this really what it is. This is one of the most engaging, entertaining, and educational lives on TikTok, honestly. Special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. You're supporting greatness, honestly. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. And I'm going to make it special. This goes out to Terry. Terry has been in my show all morning, putting in nothing but lies and hate in the comment, and never really having the courage to come up here and defend her dear leader, Donald Trump. And she says, I can't come up here because I'm on the clock, Zeus, but I would totally come up there. Okay, Terry. You've just told a lie that I've heard everywhere before. Every one of you used the same lie. WVIP. Terry, here's the thing. You are not a part of the solution, and you should tell your boss Big Zeus told you that. Tell your boss, and you probably just got written up for something bad. Go to your manager and say, listen, I know what the problem is, and Big Zeus said it. I'm not part of the solution because I'm the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send Terry and her kind straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA daily.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go, but take care and stay safe. We are out of here. Oh my God, I gotta see RFK. Oh my God, I hate Dr. Keisha. So sorry. I gotta get up out of here. Sticky finger. Thank you, everyone. Cindy. Thank you. Bam, Reggie. Let's go. Let's go. See how they tried to do me today. We're going to take his account down because he's leaning in to the Epstein stuff a little too much, and we don't got time to we don't know how to handle Big Zeus. Well, all you got to do is be honest and play the game straight up. And shout out to Vice President Kamala Harris. W-Art. Thank you. Let's go. Hey, no, sir. You can keep shouting dark money all you want to. That isn't going to change any of the facts. You get what I'm saying? And the facts are Donald Trump is underperforming. Right, Art? Thank you. Judo. Hey. It's connecting the dots. Angel. Thank you. They call it dark money. What y'all do? They're calling it dark money now. It's hilarious. Okay, dark money. What's You should be mad. You should be thrilled. All right, thank you, Scorpion. MAGA, you should be thrilled that I'm not out there committing crimes in the inner city and that I am on TikTok and that people, they want to contribute to what I'm doing. You should be happy that I'm keeping crime down by doing this, but instead you're just complaining. So I know you don't care about crime and you're nothing but a bunch of haters, all right? That's a W Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. See you tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. Love you too, Karma.